Welcome to another episode of Galactic Ambassadors Podcast. My name is Julia Balaz, your host, and today I'm joined by Claudia Langhein, who is originally from Germany, but joining us today from beautiful Mallorca. Welcome, Claudia.
Thank you very much, Julia.
So, the purpose of Galactic Ambassadors podcast is sharing the unique stories of our certified quantum soul guidance practitioners. And so, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you, Claudia, for successfully completing the quantum soul guidance certification course. It's beautiful to see your passion for astrology, which you have been working as astrologer before, and you have a very unique niche of also working with animals through astrology, and in particular with horses. And it's such a beautiful thing for me to witness how every certified practitioner offers such a unique perspective, such a unique gift to the whole community, really growing in all possible directions. It just warms my heart to see, and I'm so curious to hear your story. Looking at your beautiful website called Flower of Flower of Love,
That's
flower
right,
of
yes.
dot love,
That love.
reading your about page, such a long list of every possible holistic modality that you've explored, really unique, powerful, incredible modalities. It's clear that you have such passion for studying evolution of consciousness and really being in service to others, really building your skill set. So there are so many amazing ones that you've studied. And I love the addition at the very end where you said, out of all these incredible modalities, you learn the most through life itself, through relationships with your parents, your daughter, your ex husband, and the beautiful animals that you work with. And it's so true, really. We
Yeah,
learn and
yeah.
evolve the most through our immediate relationships. So, welcome to the podcast. I would love for you to start with how did life guided you towards following and developing this passion you have for seeking truth and studying these different holistic modalities, including astrology, psychology, and all those beautiful things on your website. Where would you like to start?
Well, so it's a long life, and maybe it's just like another life. I studied economics, and I worked for several years for publishing houses as a product manager, but I had not so much contact with people, and I was really missing this, and so I started to quit this, also with all these studies and everything, and I got another practice in psychotherapist issues, and that's what I really love because with my Scorpio ascendant, so I always want to dive deep, and so that's really what I love to do. And I did lots of mindfulness-based stress reduction and those things which all have to do with consciousness. And it's also since 25 years that horses in my life. And so it's really, I think, we shift in consciousness for me with astrology and with the horses. And so astrology, it's also a long time I'm with it. It's when my soul grandmother passed away in 1997 it was. So really long time ago. And it was not very nice as she passed, and I really felt very pity. And afterwards, I got a lot of cues with the astrology, and so with this, I used it also with people I worked with, and also just in my old job, and it got always the things together. And so I started with astrology, lots of my own, and I read so many books and things. And astrology developed so fast, like everything developed very fast the last years. And so my second encounter with astrology was when my mare died, my heart mare in 2018. She brought me astrology. And so I astrology with the normal astrology. And, for the Maya astrology, the Sirius and the Pleiades are very, very important because so they have their 55-year cycle. And the year starts always with when Sirius and Pleiades is most near to Earth. So this is in summertime. So the new start of the Mayan year is on the 26th of July every year. And so you make your 52 years, and you have all these big cycles like the 26,000 years, which is also an astrology. So I see a lot of things together. And by trying to get more out of Sirius and the Pleiades, and so I found you with the galactic astrology, and so this is the way I got to galactic astrology and all these other stars, which are very important also for us, and always get more important, because since we have new telescopes, we see new things with the James Hubble telescope, and it's no longer dark. It really gets very colored, everything, and I love it. And you get so many insights you could not have before. So it's really, yeah, it's lovely. I love it.
Beautiful. What a rich life experience. I find it fascinating. Your south node, similar like mine, is in Sagittarius.
Yes.
So, forever pursuing truth, knowledge, wisdom. It's
Yes.
interesting, though, how life guided you towards desiring the immediate relationship with another, the inquiry, the questions, rather than in previous
Mhm.
incarnations, we may have presented what we're learning as a matter of fact, as like, this is what I learned
Mhm.
and this is how it is, and you need to know this and you need to align with this. But in this life, we're not allowed to do that. With Gemini North Node, we have to really become curious about the intermediate relationships and about learning the truth and higher wisdom through other people's experiences, right? The unique
Mhm.
aspect of creator. And with your North Node, it's also beautiful. It's conjunct the great attractor, which is all about including all perspectives or honoring all perspectives as fractals of all that is. So
Yes.
it's just so beautiful how you were just naturally guided
That's
towards
right.
that
But
expression.
I have also a lot of squares on my moon node with the sun and with Saturn, so with my 10th house. So I'm always getting back and forth. And so it's really, it's challenging, but it's also, the squares are challenging, but they bring you also forward. It's not always so very nice, but they
Yes,
bring you on your way.
I
And
can
so I have,
relate. I'm so glad
yeah,
actually you're the first person I'm meeting that has same signs of lunar nodes squaring the sun. So for me, my sun is at zero Aries. For you, it's in Virgo,
yes.
in 10th house. And I only recently really cracked the code and really started to embrace the fact that we really have to find somehow balance between the Sagittarian archetype, the
Mhm.
playful Gemini that really wants to
Yes.
just have a deep connection through dialogue, and then finding also the the sun's identity for you through Virgo. So the helpfulness, making something better, improving other people's lives, but really also applying that playful Gemini rather than just sitting in the serious Sagittarius of the past, right? Do you think
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
getting
you're
better at that?
hopefully, yes. But it's also the connection with the horses, because I have on the south node, there's really also my moon in Sagittarius. So I'm not the Amazone, like if I have the sun in Sagittarius, it's my moon, and so it's all the emotions. And when my heart mare died in 2018, it was really 10 or 15 years I could not cry. I
Mm.
never cried. And when she passed away, I don't know how many liters I cried. And
Oh,
since this, it's everything open. So if somebody tells me something emotional, I start crying immediately. And it was really Flirty who opened this channel with me. And so for me, the horses, they do very, very much of these emotional things. And so, and for this is also that I want that other people can benefit this, because I benefited so much. And you don't need to ride or own horses. It's really the horses, they do it for everyone who comes here, and you will feel it. And it's often in the field of the horses, if somebody comes, especially people who do not have nothing to do with horses. But if you go there, we have all so many traumas, and the horses are here with all their presence, with all this big Haas field, like from the Haas Mass Institute. They have a Haas field that's 5 or 7 times bigger than ours. And so really you stay there, and like everybody starts to cry in the beginning. because everybody has so much tension and feelings and struggles, and they get them away from us. It's enormous, like they do. And also astrology does, because if you have the clues, you can also open things which are so much blocked, like my T-squares. I have so many blockages, but if you know them, you can just adapt and do something with them. And so, as you know, astrology and horses, they are both very, very, very helpful for me.
So much guidance there. Yes, absolutely. Did you have a chance to have a birth chart for your beloved friend, the mare that passed away 10 years ago?
Yes,
And
yes,
how,
yes.
what was the most profound information or guidance that you were able to see? Did you perhaps even look at the synastry of your relationship, or tell me
Yes, I
more about
did.
that?
And what I often have, I have Lyra Alatfa, which has lots to do with music,
Lyra
and
Alfar, the star. Yeah.
Lyra Alatfa, yes. And also one mare who's ill now. She stays with me since 10 years. She has laminitis. And she also tells me that her body is not to move, her body is frequency. It's like a crystalline frequency. And she tells me also it's not so important how the body is, but really to get this frequency down. And I have also a melody I sing with her, and I did it also with my mare who passed away. She sends me music, she sends me songs, and I know immediately that's from her. And still by now she does it. And that's really this combination of Lyra Alatfa. And then it's what is really strange. I talked to her, and she says she's in the central sun and she will not incarnate more on Earth. And then I looked in her galactic chart, and it's Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune, the planets. When they have conjuncts or opposites, you have very old souls here on Earth, and so many charts more than me than I have. But for me, Fleury is the only one. She has 3 conjuncts there. I have no chart with 3 conjuncts there. So she's such an old soul, and she decided it's now fine. She has done everything, and she says she will not. She's now in the central sun, and it's fine for her. So
That's
yeah.
wonderful to be able to see that validation through galactic astrology.
Yes, yes.
Mm. What are some of the experiences that your clients had since you certified? It was actually a few months ago, I think in April, as a QSG practitioner. Is there any session or story that comes to mind from including the galactic astrology or so of the horses? Is there any story that you would like to share that comes to mind?
Yes, I have a small group because this is with the things of the ill animals. So it's a really a big challenge, because normally you euthanize animals who are ill, which do not serve nothing. It's especially for horses, because horses cost a lot of money, and if you cannot ride them, and if you can nothing do with them, it's we were always doing. And Juani, my mare, says it's being, it's not doing, it's being. She always tells me, she tells me she's the anchor and the bowl, and I have to get this patience in it. It's really incredible. And also with this body she has, and she says she is she has a grid function, and there are also other horses, and I know this also in Germany. There are some horses with people sure like me, a little bit similar like me, because normally if you don't think the thing like I do, you would euthanize animals like this. And so it's also for those animals, it's really a unique life, because normally they could not go with their life until this point. So it's really something new for us, and it's not always very nice. But you see, with my Scorpio Ascendant, and she's Scorpio, the mare I speak for, and she always tells me these stories, and how she's connected with other horses. And I asked her also why she doesn't have a healthy body, and she says it's important that she came here, and she says she would never want to come as with a human body, because as human you go through the river of Lethe and you forget everything, And the animals, they don't forget everything. They're always connected with everything. It's we cannot read them often.
That's
And
such a
so,
powerful message. And it's actually beautiful to see shift happening also in this sphere of human animal experience, because I've heard several stories of people who are becoming more conscious of the interconnectedness of all life. And when they do work with horses, they do not euthanize after they get injured, and they do go through the journey that is quite profound, as you're describing. So it's beautiful to see that. I believe it's happening in bigger and bigger numbers. But of course,
yeah.
uh, through divine synchronicity, these horses are guided towards people that do save them and then
Yes, and they are
find a new way.
connected. That's the thing. It's only I knew only a few of them by now, because yeah, but I'm very interested in it, and I looked also at the galactic charts of
Ah,
the horses
love
I
that.
know, and they all have Sirius A, they have Crux A Crux, and they have Ophiuchus.
Wow.
Mhm,
Wow. So,
mhm,
Sirius A, for any newbies to galactic astrology, even in a horse chart, indicates profound quality of being able to support emotional body healing quite
mhm,
powerfully. An understanding of these ancient traditions, really how the mind, body, soul, spirit connections work, how to realign to the center. Then we
mhm,
have Crux, a Crux star.
mhm,
I often see it with people, so now also with animals, who are able to hold sacred space in presence of deepest emotions, of deepest
mhm,
trauma, of the heaviest stories on earth. This alignment really helps to stay strong and transmute the darkness into light. And the
mhm.
Ophiuchus, or the, I believe it's Rasalhag
As
star,
a
you know, also it can be considered as the 13th sign, or the
mhm.
metaphysical
Yes.
embodiment when all 12 archetypes are integrated.
Mhm.
So
This,
there's always such a high wisdom with that alignment, and it's close to the
that's
galactic
it,
center.
because I always felt, just before I knew the galactic astrology, very near to Ophiuchus, because with my Scorpio ascendant and with my moon in Sagittarius, so it's really Ophiuchus
Yeah.
is in between. But for me, it never made sense to have the wheel of 12 and to put the Ophiuchus in the wheel. But what now it's very fine, it's to put it in the middle, as you described it also, because if you put it in the middle, you get the wheel like a spiral, and the spiral, like the time is not linear and
Yeah.
everything is spiral. That's also what the Maya astrology says. You see, you get all these things together, and every day I learn more. And with my horses, so it's everything connected, and it's so nice to see.
Mm.
Yes, and also the centaurs. I like to work with them, especially Chiron. Everybody knows, but also with Chariklo, because for me, as the wife of Chiron, so I think what the horses do, they have all this presence. The wound of Chiron you never can heal. And Chariklo, she stands there just with open arms, and she stands and she keeps everything there. And this is like Juani does. She says she's the anchor, like the wound with Chiron, and also the bowl. So it goes all everything in this bowl, and we have just to be with it, and not to evaluate it and to do something and to try to heal it, and always with doing. She always says me, no, stay calm and listen.
Just hold presence. Yeah, I've
Hold
witnessed it.
present, yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
I've
Yes,
witnessed it
yes,
so much, and especially if we then stop resisting the emotions. And it's the
yes,
holding presence that allows for another to actually go into the depths of the emotion, and that's when it dissolves and you
yes,
return to the
yes.
center. Yeah, it's a very powerful practice. I'm so
Mhm,
grateful that you are able to hold that safe space for your clients, and what a gift to have the higher perspective of the galactic astrology, and also the decades of your experience with
mhm,
um, deep trauma, taking also the psychological
mhm.
understanding. Truly such a gift. What do you feel most excited about this year as we're going through all these activations? Where do you feel your role is taking you?
I
So,
think that's really to bring this spirituality on Earth now, with all this Neptune going to Aries. It's now really to do something with all this spirituality we have, and it's just, or this. 12 or 13 years of Neptune in Pisces, which my two youngest mares, they have it directly on my Chiron in Pisces.
Oh,
So
wow.
I have this idea also, and you know, this is like, it's not only for animals, but it's also for every soul who was born in this with this Neptune in Pisces. So you cannot educate them in the normal way with our school system and also with the writing instructions. Those are those who really need different things. And now with the Neptune in Aries, we have another big bridge to go and to see where this brings us. And I think it's really all these spiritual things we have taken together in all our lives now, really to bring it to earth and to make this change, to make also the shift to get new masculine and new feminine together. This is also what the horses do and what we can also learn with astrology. You know, it's astrology is a lot of the left brain. So like my Virgo, it's also left brain. But the Maya astrology is very right brain. And I think with the galactic astrology, we bring it together. I remember your example that the last time that the Milky Way goes in the right
Yes, anti-clockwise. Yeah.
and the Andromeda counterclockwise, and they will merge together. And I think this is what, when merges the divine feminine with the divine masculine, then everybody is a little takes his part of all these things what happen now. And the more conscious we take this part, the better we can go our way through it.
Quite fascinating how that awakening of the feminine embodiment is occurring also for the horses that may have got injured, but it's like our perception of the gift of this type of animal and many others, dolphins and goats, yoga goats. There's so many. There's a new way of how we engage with animals, right? Happening on Earth. So it's nice to be able to express this on and to talk about that. You also have Neptune close to your ascendant, so
Yes,
it just gives
yes,
you that additional
yes,
fine
yes.
tuning ability to receive the insights.
Yes, I think all these things come now together. You notice also with the telepathy tapes, with the autism, and my mare is also, she's
Brings
very
out.
autistic. But if she has music or children with her, she opens. But with this normal animal treating, you cannot go. It's like a blockage. You
Wow.
cannot enter her. Yeah.
Wow. I love learning about all this. So there are actually a few different types of services that people can book with you when they go to your website. Once again, floweroff.love.
Mhm.
What are different types of experiences that people can have when they connect with you?
Well, what I really like if with is if somebody comes with two or three questions, because it's so complex
Yeah.
everything. And so if somebody comes with these questions, I will look on the normal astrology, I will take the astrology, the galactic astrology, and also the Maya astrology, and then I will decide what's the best to answer these questions. And then we will have a Zoom session, which I like it together, because with the questions that I get with somebody who doesn't understand, then I can answer. So it's like this Gemini part of mine, you know,
I love that.
that with these sessions, these online sessions, I think we can make it best. Or if somebody comes here, but for sure it's more difficult. But I think we get the most of it if we really interact, and so it's, yeah, we get the most of it. And so I really try to do it like with some questions. And I'm also not the guru who tells you something. I want that everybody knows by itself, and I explain you see it in the stars. And if you see it, it's not that I invent something, it's there. And you have to grab it and to transform it, to make this why you're coming to earth. It's your fingerprint, it's your unique fingerprint, and you decided this fingerprint, so it's also your task to live it. Yes.
Beautiful. You were born with Saturn opposing your Uranus Pluto. So it's such a powerful, even generational theme. So I would love for you to speak to your experience with breaking through the old paradigms, the old familial structures that you inherited with Saturn, I believe, in your fourth house,
Yes,
and then having
yes.
Pluto-Uranus conjunction when you were
Mhm,
born. So that's such a powerful frequency that came through with the collective of souls that were born at that time.
mhm,
And I think perhaps it's mirrors in your original career being very conventional and then
yes,
completely shifting very radically, like
mhm,
Uranus,
mhm,
Pluto, deep
mhm,
transformational
mhm,
personal
mhm.
work. If you had to share a guidance for someone who is awakening now at this time of our collective experience and they feel a call to shift radically from what they knew, the kind of standard, the mass media
Mhm.
perspective, how did you navigate such powerful energetics in your natal chart and life?
For me, it's nature. It's nature in general, and for me, the horses in particular. And for this, also, I want to create horse human communities. That's also an association I founded 3 years
Beautiful.
ago. Really to get people and horses together to live their full potential in living areas which are really adequate for the horses and for the people. Because if you put the horses in a box, or people who have horses in a box, they are also by themselves in a box, because if not, you cannot support it that the horses are there. So it's your box too, and so it's the mirror again. And so I think we have to open our living spaces to get a really grounded and fulfilling life on earth. And that's not only for us humans but also for all the other creatures. And for me, it's the horses, because for cats and dogs it's much more easy because you can have them in a flat. But horses, they need a space, and we have to get really new possibilities, new ideas how we can create spaces. And maybe it's easier in Australia or in the United States, but in Europe the space is not so big, so we have to get more ideas, more these Uranus things, and to leave behind the Saturn, but not only leave it behind, but to integrate it, because
Yes.
Saturn is also the structure. It's also the Earth we live on. So it's everything together. I think we
And the
have really to
responsibility.
combine it. Yes.
Amazing. You have also your YouTube channel. Can you tell us a little bit what type of content do you share in relation to your work with horses on your YouTube channel?
Well, yes, I had a congress, living with horses, but everything for sure in German. But I have all the interviews now free for it. And I think it's really this concept I have to live with horses. That's really my theme. And living with horses, and also to combine it with astrology. Because if you live together in groups, whether they are groups with horses or humans, you have to know very well yourself.
Yeah.
And so for with the tool of astrology, you can learn this, and you can also learn to accept like other people are different than you, and how you can get to them, and not with the Scorpio and you do put them in an angle and he cannot come out anymore, but really to understand how the other person works. And so you go in his wounds, like the Chiron wound. If you see it, you can try to integrate it. You can help the others, and by helping the others, you help yourself. And so we make the world really rounder. And also this feminine and masculine type, everyone has it of us. And so we can try to integrate it in the way it's good for us and also for the community we live in.
Thank you. I'm trying to think about a person that may be in a relationship with horse or horses, working with horses, and then they encounter their beloved horse getting injured. Would that be a good time to book a session with you where you can perhaps look at the astrology of maybe the incident or the developing illness of the horse,
Yes.
and what kind of guidance can you bring in to support that kind of transitioning journey? Can you share a little bit about that type of client inquiry that comes in?
Yes, because I think, or I'm sure everything has a reason. So when something happens, like an injury, like an accident or something, even if you fall from the horse, there's something that just accumulates. It's not the sudden thing of Aries. There's always a story behind it. And with this, you see if it's something more acute or just something chronic, which was developing over time. And those are things you can see in the chart. with the personality of the horse and also the personality of the human, and the interaction he has with his workplace, with couple things, or with the family, parents, children. It's always some root of it, and when things happen, there's a root. And also what the horses mirror for us, they are so connected with us, and often they really take burdens for us. And so
Have you seen that in your work too? That horse
yeah,
takes on
yes,
an illness so it doesn't have to manifest in our life and it carries it
yes.
for us?
I think that not only horses do it.
Yeah.
I think
Seen it with
every
dogs and cats
yes,
most often. Yeah.
yes.
What about someone who experienced a loss of their beloved horse and they may be able to get the horse's birth chart? Is it important that they have birth time for the horse or?
Well, I use the pendulum. With the pendulum, you can get it, because normally I think sometimes you don't even know the date, but
Mm.
the time it's really like nobody knows it. The birth time,
So
I
you
think you
have
have.
your way
Yes,
to
yeah.
get an
I use it. I
accurate
use the
chart.
pendulum also for my own animals, because I
Mm.
don't know it yet.
Very good. That's good to know. When a horse pass away and a client comes to you with the details, are you able to tune in to the spirit of the horse and receive a message and kind of being like an animal whisperer also from the other side and offer guidance and comfort?
Yes, and I see also here the galactic astrology helps. Like I see it also with my animals. It's that there's always the connection, and I think it's the connection always between the human and the animal, because if not, it would not have been with us,
Yeah.
and so we would not have this wound. It's a wound, like it's a chiral wound. If a beloved soul passes away, and for me, it's not a difference whether it's a human soul or animal soul. It's I think they have the same importance, and especially mm, going deeper in the animal soul, they are so, as I said before, they are so connected, and we lose a lot of things with later, with the river of forgetfulness. But the animals, they are always connected, and for this they read so much of ours, and they get also ill for things that we
Yeah.
don't see, or we don't want to see.
So powerful to know that. You offer sessions in German, in English, but I've noticed also in Italian and Spanish. Do you speak fluent
Yes,
all these languages?
yes, yes,
That's
yes.
amazing. Very good. Well, is there anything else that I didn't ask, I could have asked that you would like to share with the audience as we close?
Well, I think we are fine with this, and so I'm so grateful, Julia, for all I could develop with you, and I'm still developing, because the group we have with the Galactic Astrology practitioners also, we can communicate by each how it's
The community.
together,
Yeah.
and we can intershare things, and even if somebody doesn't know in some sense, and so we can join our knowledge, our wisdom together. And I think this is really a beautiful community you build it there, and I'm so happy to be part of it. Yes.
Thank you so much. I am so focused on uplifting you and every other Galactic Ambassadors interviewee that I always forget asking about how was your experience with the course, as that too is a wonderful opportunity to hear about the feedback and your experience. You were with the course for just under a year, I think within 11 months you managed to get your certification. And so since you already were familiar with a lot of the astrology and you did so much of other work, how did you find the content of the course, those different sections from astrology, galactic, the intuitive, and also the business side of things? Can you talk a little bit about how you experienced the material over the year?
Well, it's really helpful from every side. You said it's the business side. You give suggestions. You have also your website. Also, clients can come through your website, so that's really helpful. And all the material you give, it's not only the galactic astrology, but even somebody who does not know so much on astrology, you do also the normal astrology. You describe all the planets, the combinations, the squares, the conjuncts, and everything, how it works, and have links to other sites, and we can intershare. You make Zoom calls. It's everything. And so I think with astrology, you never. It's a lifelong learning. You
Yeah.
will always learn, and it's so much new and also Chariclo. Thanks to Melanie Reinhardt, I know it, and I developed it, and I saw how well it works with the horses. And all the horses are Chariclo for me, and I did not know this before. And so they are always getting new things out, and also the connections you have, the videos you post, the videos you do, and also the participants of the course. So they have so much wisdom and knowledge they share. It's and everybody grows with everybody. It's like my astrology also. It's everything interwoven, interconnected, and so that's so nice to share all these things and to grow with it. Yes.
Thank you for sharing it so beautifully. I was reflecting on this different aspects of astrology. There are so many different techniques and styles now. It almost felt at one point like the Tower of Babel in the ancient times, but actually the shift, the way I see it now is really it's a universal language spoken through different dialects, spoken through different regions, and it's just a different type of language that each of them work and each of them are able to communicate certain things. So perhaps the skilled astrologer that took time, even lifetimes, to study different types of astrology techniques, that they become like a really good skilled linguist that is able to see the beauty of different techniques and different styles and deliver what is most relevant in the moment when a person is engaging. But it's beautiful to see, and I love that we're becoming more open to discussion and learning from each other and finding a way to evolving it really towards the quantum way, going into the heart and honoring our individual experiences with it. So for me, what I value the most really about this whole galactic astrology journey is the community, and for me to hearing the amazing, incredible stories that people have as they take time to engage the stars and through transit, through their noting their most important experiences, how they were actually perfectly aligned with certain configurations. It's just, I'll be forever in awe with divine intelligence, you know, order in seeming chaos. So
Yes, you're very right, and I like it also. I love it. I feel always there's no competition any longer. It's really a collaboration.
yeah,
So if you have a question, somebody has the answer, and we develop other things out of it. So it's really so lovely to work with it. It's just fun.
I'm so happy to see that developing. Yes, beautiful. And
Mhm.
we are hoping to have our summit year number 2 in January next year. We'll start organizing. So hopefully we'll see many of these beautiful, unique niche developments within our community presented again beautifully for the next summit. So Claudia, thank you so much for being such a beautiful, bright light, for the dedication that you give over the many years to not just developing yourself. We can really see how much your own journey has shaped the beautiful grounded wisdom that you carry, that you embody, but really in service to others. You know, the ability to hold that sacred, safe space for them to heal and return to their wholeness, to see their truth with clarity, and then starting fresh. It's such a gift. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for this offering. Thank you, Julia.
My pleasure. So we will include all your links in the video description. Thank you all for watching, and we look forward to connecting again soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Much love.